Yeah, there's a thing I noticed as well in the preamble, right? I'll show you here. In the preamble, which I have on the wall in Clough Gaelic. This, pay attention to this part. The Muintir and the Heron, this part here, see, belonging to Éire, right? In the Clough, I'll get it here. I have to change this fucking font, because it's just not working out. I don't know whether you can see this, but anyway, in the preamble, it says Arbe Dinna Muintir na Heron, right? And in the English side, it says that it's saying we, the people of Éire. Now, it's not saying that at all. What it's saying is we, the people that belong to Éire, meaning the nationals. That's what it's saying. That's what the Clough Gaelic is saying. Like I said, going back to the wall in the Clough Gaelic and going back to Bunreacht na Heron, belonging to primary law, belonging to Éire. They're completely taking these words, these texts, and completely twisting it so they can get what they want. And they need to be called out about it. It's as simple as that. You know? They need to be called out. Now, if you keep going around waving this thing around, you're not under Irish law. Wave that around, you're under Irish law. This law is for the Éire, for us, Irish, not born here. Yeah? This isn't. So it's not even written on. Look at that shite there. You know? That's not our text. It's not even our language. It may look like our language, or it may read if you speak it. But that's what a language is. A language is spoken, but a text is written. You know? It's written. So now I wanted to take a look at 20 there. I need to get a new phone. 20, right? There's no H in Fiche. You see it? It reads FIT with the dot E. There's no H. But when you start to change in our language, of course, and start to change in our text, look at the Fiche. Has a H in it. Do you see it? Fiche punt. But even the punt there in that doesn't have a H, but they put it in the Fiche. They completely changed their text. They completely changed, and by doing so, they changed the laws. And it's all here, you know. Like I said, the old money doesn't say bank. This is banna, which is bond. Do you see it? And it's in Clough Gaelic, all the money. And then this money, it's not Clough Gaelic. It looks like Clough Gaelic. That's the same text that's actually in our passports. That's not Clough Gaelic. It's just not. Like I said, there's no H in our Irish. Do you see it? And see, the E, even the E is different. And then they changed the ban to bank. I'm not making this stuff up. It's there, look. It's there, you know, for everyone to see how they changed their language. They changed it. They had a First Amendment. They made a First Amendment to this, our primary laws, where they changed the definition of war. It did read, before I read, if Éire is ever a war, meaning our country, if we're ever a war with anyone else, they could pause this constitution and go into a state of war, right? In Bonrocht, they had I think it was a 3-year grace period where they didn't have to go through. They didn't have to go to people's. They didn't have to have a referendum. They didn't have to go to a referendum, but they were late, right? They were late there, so it's all fraud. It was fraud, right? Then in the Second Amendment, they said they were going to go in, and because they hadn't written it in the Irish, they only wrote it in the English. They told people that they were going to go in and change that article, the Irish part, into what the English was saying. But instead of changing the text, what the words said, they went in and changed the fucking text, the whole text. The Clo Gaelic is gone. You know? Clo Gaelic, it's no Clo Gaelic in the 1942 when they changed it, and in 1948, and then they changed it again in 1998. There's no Clo Gaelic in it. That's not our text. You know? And I've been trying to say this, and he's just not getting it. I just don't know what I have to say to you. You know? Here's a book. It's an old book I got from the 1930s, and it's written in Clo Gaelic. Do you see it? And this book was published in Dublin. All y'all clear. It just says here. It's published in Dublin, which is Éire. Don't know whether you see that. In 1937, actually the same year. The same year this came out, Bonrocht, na hÉireann. Now, another thing I wanted to say, a lot of the articles in this, because it talks about the coming in of the Constitution, right? So a lot of what they say in the book is not a lot, but just a few things are pretense, right? So it means it's when the Constitution comes in full force, it's, you know, these are the rules. But one thing that fascinated me, and if I can find it, yeah, I'll just try and have it. Like I said, I'll try and keep this as quick as I can, but I don't know whether you see it. But it mentions the president twice in it, right? President of Ireland, and then it has in brackets. But it's different, right? It's different. Now, what it basically says is Uachtar Ron, who's president, Éireann. Now, what's wrong with that now? What's wrong with Éireann? That there, folks, is the president of the Free State. That's what it's talking about there. There's no H, so once again, doesn't belong to Éire. But in the brackets, it says Uachtar Ron na hÉireann in the brackets. So it's removing it from this article off the page, because at that point, before the coming into of this Constitution, the president was the Irish president, all right, but he wasn't the Irish president of Éire. He wasn't president of this land. He was like in the Free State, he was actually the king first. The king. The king was the first president of Ireland when the Free State was set up. So that's why there's no H. And once again, H meaning belonging to Éire. You know? And it's all there. It's all there to look at for yourselves. It's all there. And this is how they're doing it. This is how they're able to do what they're doing. Right? And unless it's called out by the people, they'll keep doing it. You know? They'll keep doing it. Now, the preamble says in the English, we the people of Éire. But that's not what it says. It says, Arbit dinner, Muntir na hÉireann, meaning the people belonged to Éire. The people that belong to Éire, as in the nationals. That's what it talks about. That's what this book is for. Right? Now, it also says that we're meant to be making the decisions, right? We are. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry coming into the country. Now they want to start allowing people that's coming off the boats to vote, and allowing people that's only coming off the boats to fucking run in Parliament. Like, well, this says they can't. Now, I know they changed the legislation where taxpayers, right? The taxpayers, they have a job and they work here. I get it. All the nationals, all the Nashunta, Ella, that come into the country and living here 10 years and they all work and all, yeah, 100%. I'd be, that's not the problem here. The problem is these Ukrainians and everything, they want to give them a vote and they want to allow them to make decisions on their country. But this says that they can't. Folks, we're in big trouble if you don't cop on. You know? Big trouble. Anyway, Slán go fóill.